Asia has always been a continent of deep spiritual memory. It is the birthplace of ancient faiths, sacred rivers, crowded temples, mountain monasteries, and civilizations that have shaped the soul of humanity for thousands of years. But in 2026, another story is quietly rising across this vast and mysterious continent, and it deserves to be seen with fresh eyes. It is the story of Catholicism in Asia, not as a distant echo from the past, but as a living faith carried through families, parishes, schools, missions, hidden communities, and millions of ordinary believers who continue to pray, serve, suffer, and hope. In some places, the church fills the streets with color, bells, candles, and public devotion. In others, it survives in silence, behind closed doors, inside homes, or in small communities that refuse to let the faith disappear. Across islands, megacities, mountain regions, and ancient cultures, Catholic life in Asia is becoming one of the most surprising stories of the modern church. This Catholic documentary will take you through the top 10 countries for Catholics in Asia 2026, where identity, sacrifice, courage, and grace are still shaping the future of the faith. Stay with us until the end. And if you love discovering the living story of the Catholic Church around the world, please subscribe to the channel. Number 10. Japan. Japan is known for advanced science, world-class technology, social discipline, and a highly secular modern culture, where Shinto and Buddhist traditions often appear through ceremony, ancestry, festivals, and family customs. At first glance, Catholicism seems almost invisible in this island nation. Yet to understand its true value here, we have to return to the blood-stained but heroic history of the 17th century, when Japanese Catholics protected the faith not in public churches, but in silence. This was the age of the Kakure Kirishitan, the hidden Christians. After Christianity was banned and missionaries were expelled, generations of believers preserved the Catholic faith for more than 200 years without open mass, without public churches, and often without priests. They whispered prayers from parent to child, baptized in secret, and disguised sacred images so their devotion could survive. Their faith endured because ordinary families refused to let the name of Christ disappear. By 2026, Catholics still make up less than half of 1% of Japan's population, with roughly 450,000 to 500,000 native believers. But the Church's influence is larger than its size. Through respected Catholic schools, universities, and social institutions, especially Sophia University in Tokyo and Nanzan University in Nagoya, Catholicism has quietly shaped students, scholars, professionals, and leaders within Japanese society. Today, Japanese parishes are also being renewed by Catholic migrants from the Philippines, Vietnam, Latin America, and other parts of the world. These communities bring new languages, music, family devotion, and energy into churches that were once smaller and quieter. Catholicism in Japan remains humble, but it is becoming more visibly connected to the global church. Number 9. Bangladesh. The story of Catholicism in Bangladesh begins with a paradox. In one of the most densely populated countries on earth, where more than 170 million people live and Islam shapes the cultural landscape, a very small Catholic community continues to grow quietly and serve with remarkable dedication. Here, the church is not associated with wealth, political influence, or large numbers. It is often found in remote villages, flood-damaged communities, and among people who have spent generations on the margins of society. Catholic roots in Bangladesh reach back to the 16th century with the arrival of Portuguese missionaries, but the real character of the church has been formed by poverty, natural disasters, and the daily experience of being a religious minority. By 2026, the country has nearly 450,000 Catholics, less than 1/3 of 1% of the national population. Yet their presence reaches far beyond their numbers. Across Bangladesh, the church operates schools, health centers, rehabilitation programs, and humanitarian projects that serve people of every faith. Institutions such as Notre Dame College in Dhaka have earned deep respect for their educational excellence, while Catholic charities continue to assist the poor, the sick, and communities affected by floods and cyclones. In many places, the Church has become a trusted companion to those who have nowhere else to turn. Another remarkable chapter is unfolding among ethnic minority communities, such as the Garo and the Santal. In these communities, Catholicism has brought more than religious instruction. It has often provided education, legal support, social protection, and a renewed sense of human dignity. Vocations to the priesthood and religious life have also grown steadily, giving this small church a surprising spiritual vitality. In rural areas such as Mymensingh and Chattogram, simple churches with tin roofs and modest walls still stand as signs of hope. The Catholics of Bangladesh do not seek attention or influence. They choose another path, to be present like salt and yeast, changing society quietly through service, patience, and a deep faith that continues to bloom in the heart of a Muslim-majority nation. Number 8. South Korea. Walk into a Catholic parish in Seoul, and the first thing you may notice is not an old-world atmosphere, but precision. The schedules are organized, the choirs are disciplined, the catechism programs are serious, and the parish life moves with the rhythm of a modern city. South Korea is shaped by technology, education, competition, and speed. Yet in that fast-moving world, Catholicism has found a place by giving modern life a conscience. The roots of this church are unusual. Korean Catholicism did not begin through conquest or colonial power. It began when Korean scholars encountered Catholic writings from China, studied them seriously, accepted the faith, and carried it back to their own people. From the beginning, this was a church of inquiry, conviction, and personal choice. That conviction was tested through blood. During the persecutions of the 18th and 19th centuries, thousands of Korean Catholics were killed rather than abandon Christ. More than 10,000 martyrs became the spiritual memory of the church, giving Korean Catholicism its strong sense of courage, discipline, and moral responsibility. By 2026, South Korea has nearly 5.8 million Catholics, more than 11% of the population. Its influence is especially visible among students, professionals, artists, public leaders, young intellectuals, and middle-class families searching for a faith that can speak clearly in a complex society. The church is also respected for its role in social justice, labor rights, democracy, human dignity, and hopes for peace with North Korea. In South Korea, Catholicism does not feel like a relic from the past. It feels alert, educated, organized, and alive inside one of the most modern societies on earth. Number 7. China. China is one of the most complex places in the story of Catholicism in Asia. With more than 1.4 billion people and one of the world's oldest civilizations, it has never been an easy mission field. Since the 16th century, when Matteo Ricci and other missionaries entered China through language, science, scholarship, and cultural dialogue, the Catholic faith has had to learn how to speak inside a civilization with deep intellectual roots. Modern history made that story even more difficult. Over time, Chinese Catholic life became divided between the state-recognized Catholic structure and underground communities that continued to hold deep loyalty to Rome. For many believers, faith is not only a matter of Sunday worship, it is a careful act of conscience shaped by loyalty, prudence, and quiet courage. By 2026, the exact number of Catholics in China remains hard to measure, with estimates often ranging from around 6 million to more than 12 million faithful. Yet the deeper story is not only found in statistics. It is found in rural parishes, city churches, elderly believers, young Catholics, priests, sisters, and families who continue to pray, serve, and pass on the faith under strict religious regulations. Dialogue between the Vatican and Beijing over the appointment of bishops has opened an important but fragile channel after decades of tension. Many challenges remain, but Catholic life in China continues with remarkable endurance. In places such as Hebei, Shanghai, and other Catholic centers, the faith still lives through Mass, catechism, charity, devotion, and quiet service to the poor and the sick. In China, Catholicism moves like an underground river, often unseen from the surface, sometimes restricted, but still carrying deep spiritual life. Number 6. Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a small island with a deeply complicated soul. Its people live among Buddhist, Hindu, Muslim, and Christian traditions, while the memory of ethnic conflict still touches many families. In that fragile setting, the Catholic Church holds a rare position. It is present among both Sinhala and Tamil communities, praying in both languages and standing across lines that once divided the country. This gives Catholicism in Sri Lanka a mission larger than its size. By 2026, Catholics make up more than 6% of the population, around 1.4 million people. But their importance is not measured only by numbers. After the Easter attacks of 2019, when churches were struck during worship and hundreds of lives were lost, the Catholic community became a witness of grief without revenge. Under the leadership of Cardinal Malcolm Ranjith, Catholics demanded truth and justice, but they also chose prayer, restraint, and peace. Places such as the Shrine of Our Lady of Madhu and St. Anthony's Shrine in Colombo show how deep this witness runs. They are Catholic pilgrimage sites, but they also draw Buddhists, Hindus, and others seeking healing, blessing, and hope. In Sri Lanka, Catholicism has become a lighthouse of reconciliation, wounded by violence, yet still calling a divided society toward mercy, dignity, and peace. Number 5. Indonesia. Indonesia is the largest Muslim-majority nation on earth, yet its Catholic story is not one of isolation. Across thousands of islands, the country is held together by the national philosophy of Pancasila, which affirms belief in God, unity, and respect for religious diversity. Within that framework, the Catholic Church has learned to live as a confident minority, loyal to Indonesia, faithful to Rome, and active in public life. By 2026, Catholics remain only around 3% of Indonesia's vast population, but that still means more than 8.5 million faithful. Their presence is especially strong in places such as Flores, West Timor, and parts of Java, where Catholic life is woven into local culture through parish feasts, music, schools, and family devotion. In these communities, the faith does not feel imported. It speaks with Indonesian rhythm, color, and warmth. The wider influence of the Church is seen most clearly through education and service. Catholic schools and universities are respected by many families, including Muslim families, because of their discipline, academic quality, and moral formation. The visit of Pope Francis to Jakarta in 2024 also strengthened the message that Indonesia can be a place of encounter between religions, not only tension between them. Indonesia shows a different face of Catholicism in Asia. Here, the Church grows not by dominating the public square, but by serving well, educating carefully, respecting its neighbors, and proving that a Catholic can be fully Indonesian and fully part of the universal Church. Number 4. India. India forces us to rethink the story of Catholicism in Asia. Christianity here is not simply a legacy of European colonial history. According to ancient Christian tradition, St. Thomas the Apostle arrived on the coast of Kerala in the 1st century, bringing the gospel to Indian soil long before many Western nations became Christian. Because of that, Indian Catholicism carries a rare apostolic depth, rooted in one of the earliest memories of the Church. By 2026, India is home to an estimated 17 to 20 million Catholics. Yet its true richness is not found only in its size, but in its extraordinary diversity. The Latin Church, the Syro-Malabar Church, and the Syro-Malankara Church all remain in communion with Rome while preserving distinct liturgies, languages, music, and spiritual traditions. In Kerala and Goa, Catholic life is woven into family customs, parish feasts, weddings, education, architecture, food, and local identity. The Church in India also reaches far beyond Sunday worship. Catholic schools, colleges, hospitals, clinics, charities, and religious orders serve millions of people, including the poor, the sick, tribal communities, abandoned children, and many delete families pushed to the margins. In a country marked by deep social divisions, Catholic mission becomes practical mercy, teaching children, healing the sick, feeding the poor, and standing beside those who are easily forgotten. Catholic life in India still faces pressure in some regions, especially where religious nationalism creates suspicion toward Christian schools, charities, or missionary work. Yet the Church continues with patience, courage, and discipline. In India, Catholicism is both ancient and alive. An apostolic inheritance carried through Indian languages, Indian customs, Indian suffering, and Indian hope. Number 3. Vietnam. Vietnam has become one of the most energetic Catholic communities in Asia. Its story was shaped by more than 4 centuries of faith, hardship, persecution, and martyrdom. The blood of countless witnesses did not erase Catholicism from the country. Instead, it helped form a church known for discipline, family devotion, strong parish life, and remarkable endurance. By 2026, Vietnam has more than 7.2 to 7.4 million Catholics, around 7% of the national population. The strength of the church here is not only found in official numbers, but in the life of its parishes. From the Red River Delta to the Mekong region and the Central Highlands, churches are often filled not only on Sundays, but also on weekdays. Morning masses, evening devotions, choirs, catechism classes, youth groups, and parish festivals keep Catholic life deeply woven into daily routines. Vietnam is also becoming one of the great vocation gardens of the global church. Seminaries and religious communities continue to attract large numbers of young men and women who are willing to give their lives to priesthood, religious life, and mission. Vietnamese priests, sisters, and brothers now serve in many parts of the world, including places where vocations are declining. Once a land that received missionaries, Vietnam now sends faith, service, and pastoral strength beyond its own borders. In Vietnam, Catholicism feels alive at the parish gate, in the family rosary, in the crowded church courtyard, and in the young person discerning a call from God. It is one of Asia's clearest signs that a church tested by history can still become a source of renewal for the world. Number 2. Timor-Leste. In Timor-Leste, Catholicism is not first encountered as a statistic. It is heard in the language of the nation, seen in school courtyards, carried in family memories, and felt in the way people speak about survival. This small country on the eastern side of Timor did not become deeply Catholic in a calm chapter of history. Its faith grew stronger through occupation, fear, resistance, and the long road toward independence. During those years, the church stood close to the people when many other institutions failed them. Parishes became places of protection. Priests, sisters, catechists, and Catholic leaders helped defend human dignity, give voice to suffering families, and keep international attention on a wounded nation. Many Timorese did not see the church as distant authority. They saw it as the one house that stayed open when the country was bleeding. By 2026, around 97% of the population is Catholic, placing Timor-Leste among the most Catholic nations on earth by percentage. Yet the most important fact is not only how many people are Catholic, it is how deeply the faith has entered national identity. Public ceremonies, schools, family life, moral language, and national memory all carry Catholic influence. Here, the church is not simply part of society, it helped hold society together. Timor-Leste shows a rare form of Catholic strength, small in population, young as a nation, but immense in spiritual identity. Its faith feels like a national heartbeat, shaped by suffering, protected by courage, and carried forward with gratitude. Number 1. The Philippines. The Philippines is the place where Catholicism in Asia becomes impossible to miss. It is in the bells before dawn, the crowded novena, the candlelit street, the family altar, the school prayer, the Holy Week procession, and the song rising from a parish courtyard. Here, the faith does not stay behind church doors. It enters the rhythm of daily life and turns public devotion into part of the nation's emotional language. With more than 85 million Catholics by 2026, The Philippines is the largest Catholic country in Asia and one of the largest in the world. Yet the scale becomes most powerful when it is seen in motion. The Black Nazarene procession in Manila gathers millions in a tide of sacrifice and devotion. In Cebu, the Santo Niño remains a beloved sign of faith, childhood, history, and identity. Simbang Gabi fills the days before Christmas with early morning prayer, while Marian devotion and Holy Week traditions continue to shape family and community life. The Church has also helped shape the country's public conscience. Catholic voices, lay movements, religious communities, rosaries, and images of Mary became part of peaceful people power moments that changed national history. The same faith now travels far beyond the islands. Overseas Filipino workers carry Catholic life into hospitals, ships, homes, schools, and parishes across the world. The Philippines is Asia's Catholic heart because its faith is not only large, it is loud with song, visible in devotion, resilient in hardship, and generous enough to travel wherever Filipino families go. As we look back on this journey through 10 nations, a remarkable picture begins to emerge. The Catholic Church in Asia is not a single story. It is a mosaic of languages, cultures, and histories. In some places, Catholics are a small minority quietly preserving their faith. In others, they form the spiritual heartbeat of an entire nation. Yet across this vast continent, one truth remains the same. Asian Catholics continue to witness to the gospel through perseverance, sacrifice, compassion, and an unshakable hope in God. From hidden communities that kept the faith alive through persecution to crowded churches filled with young families and new vocations, Catholicism in Asia is vibrant, resilient, and deeply alive. These communities are not withdrawing from society. They are shaping education, serving the poor, promoting reconciliation, defending human dignity, and weaving the Christian faith into the cultural fabric of their nations. In many ways, the future of the global church is increasingly turning toward the East. Thank you for joining us on this Catholic documentary journey. If you enjoy exploring the history, culture, and spiritual beauty of the Catholic Church, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with someone who would enjoy this story. And before you go, tell us in the comments, which country surprised you the most, and which Catholic community inspired you the most. Subscribe now and join us for more journeys into the living story of the Catholic Church around the world. May Almighty God bless you and your loved ones, and we look forward to seeing you again in our next documentary.